Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Welcome. We are going to discuss the full moon in Taurus. This is a very powerful one. We are in Scorpio season, so Scorpio is known to be the most intense sign as it is. And then we have this opposition between the Sun, Mercury, Venus, shining over towards the moon, which are two fixed signs. And this eclipse is highlighting the ongoing um, Uranus Saturn square. So there's a T square, there's a tension. These are all fixed signs. So if you are a Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius, or have a lot of planets in these fixed signs, you're probably already feeling it like I am. Taurus represents the fixed earth, the body. So a lot of ascension symptoms that are happening in between these eclipses, building up, these are always powerful, and that is because the La Luna, the moon, tugs on our emotions. So think about it. We have powerful energies as above, so below, tugging in this T square of old ways, new ways, and it's all fixed energy. Fixed energy is our stabilizers in the out of the three cardinal fixed mutable signs, or oh, that's not the word, not the signs. Um, Scratch that energies. So, there's cardinal, which is initiating, there's mutable, which are the transformers, and then there's fixed that gets very stuck a lot of times in things, but they are the stabilizers. At the time of this eclipse, again, more power, more opportunities, more availability for change is Uranus, the planet of great awakenings, earth shaking, lightning, quick changes, quick revelations, is right there with the full moon. I got to pull the chart up here, so give me a moment. I was going to go into a card first, but let's just look at the chart briefly. And because I do better with getting a visual of what I am talking about. So again, right here we have it. Full moons are always opposite of the sun. Again, like I was saying, there's an intensity right now anyway because of Scorpio season. Scorpio takes us deep. Scorpio energy is about transformation. It's about transmuting all of the things of the past and rising up out of the ashes like a phoenix. We have the planet of Mercury, which rules over the sign of Taurus right there with the sun. So this is powerful too. Venus is about our resources, it's about beauty, it's about love, but it's not just outside energy. It's what do you do for yourself? How do you love yourself? How do you nurture yourself? Do you physically tell yourself in your body that you are thankful for your body, really embracing your feminine energy of being thankful? We've been taught in our society to pick apart our bodies because of differences. Well, that's freaking yesteryears. We have to embrace our uniqueness, the Uranus energy. Eclipses always happen with the nodes of the moon. So this eclipse, full moon, lunar eclipse in the sign of Taurus is happening with the North Node. This eclipses are powerhouse energies. There's a reason why these happen, and it's about setting intentions for the next 6 months because this is the energy we're going to be playing with, working with, growing with, and the letting go South Node in Scorpio. So perhaps having a lot of intellect right now going into the depths, kind of an inner energy of reflecting over maybe what you really do find beauty in, how you are on your own resourcefulness on your journey here in the earth plane. So a lot of intellect happening. I know for me, I was awake 2 nights ago and there was several people that I interact with that were also, just having a hard time sleeping. Pardon me, we have a lot of mental energy going on right now with Mars, the planet of action, in the sign of Gemini retrograde. This plays a part in all of this as well, because this Mercury energy right here with the sun is a ruling planet of Gemini. This is a long retrograde Mars is taking through there. So just really a lot of people and a lot of voices, right? Gemini voices that were silenced with Mars now retrograde in the energy of Gemini over the next, I think it's like January. So there could be a lot of voices of truth coming out that have been censored. Censorship is rampant. There's a reason why there's so much suppression right now, because the planet of Uranus has been in Taurus and continually will be. A lot of earth changes, a lot of changes to our body as we are moving through different photon energy in the ethers that we are not accustomed to. There's a lot of people feeling the change in their body, whether it be changes of what you eat, your food preference. There's also a lot of detoxification going on right now too with this Scorpio energy, doing detoxes, a lot of purging of emotions, deep emotions, rethinking those things. It's important in the Taurus energy to listen to our senses, listen to that gut instinct. Your body will tell you. We just been trained to ignore that. So it's not a time to go along with the masses of asses. It's a time to step into your own worth, Taurus energy, right? Be unique in yourself. Embrace and witness what your body's telling you, what your body's needing for nurturing and love at this time continually. And the powerhouse of this eclipse is that this T-square between the sun, moon, Saturn in Aquarius, there's been that ongoing square energy tension, you know, old ways, new ways. How are we going to transmute that through the scorpionic energy, rethink it in the scorpionic energy? So a lot of deep diving in your thoughts, and then transmuting that towards the North Node in the Taurus, embracing this. Taurus rules over the throat. So speaking your truth, no matter who tries to censor you. A lot of argumentative energy going on with that Mars and Gemini too. Try not to, just if you know who you are with the worth energy, the Taurus energy, and your unique expression, you'll be able to speak your truth. It won't make you sway off when other people perhaps persecute you, whatever, slander you. Just knowing who you are as a divine child of God is where we want to head. That's why I love astrology so much. I am all about learning astrology from different perspectives, and I find it, for my intention on my channel is for growth, for guidance, even because the personal birth natal chart just has a beautiful way of helping you guide your soul on your journey. Now, the North Node, the South Node in Scorpio, the nodes of the moon are a collective energy. This is also taking place on an individual level. So where is the Taurus Scorpio axis in your natal chart? Which house is that? That's going to be significant. Not only that, but the Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius energies are all fixed. So if you have, like I said prior, a lot of fixed energy in your chart, I have a Taurus full moon or a Taurus natal moon myself. So this particular full lunar eclipse is a blood moon, which is the sun is, the earth is coming in between the sun and the moon on the ecliptic. So the sun's rays will filter through the atmosphere, and then our perception of the moon being a reddish or a copper color is that filtration through our Earth's atmosphere. That's how we see the blood full red moon. Also known as the Beaver moon, which is in the northern hemisphere, a time when the trappers would set their traps, but it's also a time when the beaver go into their beaver dens and they're kind of going inner to prepare for the winter and the time ahead. So that's where the beaver moon comes into it. And then I found it fascinating that what creates that reddish or copperish colored moon is just the reflection through our atmosphere, and that's what we see. So that's pretty fascinating. So November 8th, big deal because The United States' election is this day too. Taurus is fixed energy, but it's resources, it's food, it's agriculture. We are going through great changes. There's going to be quick changes to that. Specifically hitting on the election day in the United States is important too, because that Uranus energy there with it, expect just craziness, right? Whether you see it or not. Not meaning good, bad, or otherwise, but the wild card energy is there. Also, the fixed energy, again, like I said, likes to stabilize. So how can you, as an individual, work with this energy? First of all, figure out where these two signs, Taurus, Scorpio, are in your chart, and research about which house represents what, and kind of go from there, because you owning your own power is what matters at this time. Another thing coming up too, because Taurus energy rules the heart chakra, so the green color is very beneficial right now as we proceed through this eclipse and the next 6 months. Making sure you're grounding, making sure you're hydrating your body, making sure you're getting in sync with the natural things of the planet that God created. So maybe this for some of you, if it becomes too intense, maybe taking a step back from, not being so consumed by technology, not being so consumed by outside information. It's really just amazing the growth I've seen within myself, because I can observe what's happening and taking place, but not absorb it like I used to. And I'm super sensitive soul. So although I do pick up on Schumann spikes, the cosmic energy, and the KM index and what coming up, I do pick up on collective fear and whatnot. So it's almost tangible to feel that energy. But I really know how to manage my own now and filter out what is mine and what is not mine. So it's beautiful. So November 8th, full moon in the sign of Taurus, our stabilizing earth, our bodies, is at 6:02 a.m. on November 8th, and that is Eastern Standard Time. This eclipse is happening at 16 degrees, 1 minute. So wherever 16 degrees is, your house could be on a cusp. So it might not necessarily be in where it says Taurus, because I know that happens with me because I am a very, very like 0 degree rising Sagittarius. So my house placements get shifted a little bit, which is no big deal. But if you know anything about astrology, that's a great way to start to see how you can work with these energies of the eclipse, because it's a really powerful time with that Uranus energy. Again, it's been in there. I believe Uranus is going to stay in Taurus through 2026, if I'm not mistaken. And, it's about a lot of earth changes, a lot of changes to our resources, how we live our everyday lives. And I feel like by design, we've gotten so out of touch with reality on where our resources come from, how to rely on our own self-reliance. And we've also, in an egotistical way, for loving and nurturing yourself, our society, especially in the West, is like, it's selfish, and it's not. When we remember our divinity, when we remember that we are created in her image, source energy, that we have everything within us to evolve, that we're not here to just be in suffering constantly, although the duality is difficult for a lot of us star seeds or light workers, whatever you want to call us. So those that have awakened have quite a weight on their shoulders. And so a lot of the ascension symptoms, and again, I never replace medical help. If you need to seek it, do so. However, I'm going to share some of the things that I've been feeling, because we had the partial solar eclipse in October for Scorpio, and now this is the follow-up. This is kind of the bookend, right? With this full lunar eclipse in Taurus. So keep on track. I just lost my whole train of thought. That's cool. I love when I do that. Um, I used to actually apologize for it. Okay, so there it is. There it is. Knowing your self-worth, not in an egotistical way, obviously, but just knowing who you are and that you have a purpose here on the planet, and that all of our purposes can be similar but yet different. And so back to the body symptoms, that's where I was at, Taurus energy. Um, a lot of tension through the neck and shoulders, which makes sense because Taurus rules the throat, but could be, symbolic of feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders, which would totally relate with the T square that's happening in the three fixed signs. Taurus being the body. I'm noticing this really. I used to grind my teeth all the time, and now I'm clenching again. So I recently started wearing my mouth guard again. Um, a lot of us are feeling the different photon energy as the KP index, which is the geomagnetic energy in our atmosphere that comes, I think, mostly from the sun. Um, but, could be from the photon belts and stuff we're traveling through, or the galactic sun, the central sun, or it could be, well, it is, we're always interacting back and forth. So our consciousness speaks back and forth to the heavens. And so we just keep upgrading with the Schumann spikes tingling through your feet, your hands, up your legs. A lot of people reporting like a tension through the crown chakra. Um, the detoxification, this has been a couple weeks for me, but I do know that even purging more, right? Having more bowel movements, having urinating more. A lot of us are feeling the hot flushes through our bodies as the K index rises up into the yellows and the reds or above 4 and 5. um, Transmuting that heat, getting grounded, making sure that you're centered in your heart. So again, Taurus energy rules over the heart chakra, which rules the throat because they're directly connected. Are you speaking from your heart? Are you speaking your truth? Are you speaking your deepest feelings, right? The scorpionic energy. I'm really able to discuss some really deep things with my husband recently, which I just love because the depth of it, right? That's what Scorpio does, is takes us to the depths, even about the things that are difficult. And with Mercury right there, being able to express it. So if you're needing to express it on paper even, or through communication, this is the time with this Taurus eclipse energy to keep speaking our truth as we go forward. And this energy, learning from the astrologers that I learned from, which is many of them, um, this sets the tone. Even though this full moon, all full moons always, represent a culmination or a release, we're also setting an intention at this time that's kind of going to set the stage for the energy of the next 6 months. And there's always going to be wild cards with Uranus being right there. And there's always going to be wild cards on how human beings respond to the current energies and the current times as we are in revelations, really. So let's pull an overall energy. Let me see if I can drop the background just to make it a little clearer on the cards. Yeah. So I always call upon the Most High, God, Creator, Source, Divine Light. I ask for guidance. I ask that I be clear communications to encourage, to uplift, even bring awareness for those who come in and listen. And I give thanks in advance. So Taurus energy, what is the message that wants to come up first? I've been excited about coming on and doing some intuitive card messages with everybody. Thank you so much if you're new today, or if you're a new subscriber, I totally appreciate it. Take me as I am. Again, my intentions in my channel is just to share. We all have something to share, whether it be knowledge of things that we've been through. Overall energy for this Taurus lunar eclipse. I think I'm going to get up early. I'm in the Eastern Standard Time zone, and I'm going to get up to hopefully see if it's visible in my area. Again, we don't have to see it to not to feel it. A lot of people, even if you're not familiar with astrology, the lunar energy pulls on our emotions. That's where the word lunatic came up. But through our awareness, we can be the ones that are setting sail on and using our own rudder, right? Being our own anchor, being self-resilient, being resourceful. So the first message is the water element sensing. Immediately, because we have the sun, Venus, Mercury in the sign that is a water sign, fixed energy, Scorpio, we have to trust and get in touch with our feminine energy. Both Scorpio energy and Taurus energy are feminine. Now, whether you're male in the body or female in the body is irrelevant. We all have the opportunity to tap into our senses, our intuition. A lot of us have been shedding tears as we've been detoxification in this detoxification mode. Just having, sudden onset of tears, but tears to me are a blessing because that's our pressure relief valve. Just like I said with the Taurus energy, to trust your instincts, trust your five senses, right? We're really a great time to get in tune with your five senses, to be present in your body, to tap into the blessing of scent, smell, taste, touch, hearing, and then listening to that God is a very instinctual. So bringing forth this water element, it's asking us to trust our senses, trust our intuition. That is going to be the key to how we're integrating and working with the energies as above, so below. Sensing. Again, being open and receptive and vulnerable. Again, you have to know your own boundaries before you can be vulnerable. Are you gathered with assholes, or are you gathered with other people who support you, who you are, who love your differences, who love when you can bring a different perspective to the table, that you can communicate with, that you can gather with? It's a time of vulnerability, and a lot of this fixed energy doesn't do well with change. I have a fixed moon in Taurus myself, I get it. And with that Uranus there, with this eclipse energy, it is about change. So being more open and receptive to the changes and flowing with it. Again, back to the Ascension symptoms. A lot of us are feeling really tired, especially with Neptune, Jupiter, both in Pisces. So that can bring about these highly sensitive energies within you. Just know that the water element cleanses and purifies, and that we got to trust our own senses because we could really be led astray. I know the first 40 years of my life, I just took on my surroundings and my cultural, like many of us do. And so when we get back on our own soul's path, it's very powerful. It's very vulnerable when you know your own healthy boundaries, where your energy, ends, like your aura is charged up, and where somebody else's begins. So you're not enmeshed. What is another message for this Taurus lunar eclipse? That one? Yep, it's a thick deck. Seventh house partnerships. This is coming up a lot because we have the planet of Venus, who rules Taurus, this lunar eclipse, and the sign of Libra. Seventh house is all about relationships. We are going back over and even processing. Scorpio season's taken a lot of us really deep into relationship energy. A lot of us even in our minds going back over past relationships. That's huge. That's huge, huge, huge. And even kind of sensing into where your partner's at this time too. So with this water element and a lot of sensing, with Scorpio season, it's very intense. It's very emotional anyway. Then we have this opposition where the sun's shining over to this feminine La Luna, where it just tugs on our emotions. So a lot of us are going through even partnership reviews, going back over things in prior relationships, perhaps even the one that you're in now. And maybe you're being guided that, we got to do something a little bit different here. It's all about that right now with the Venus energy, right there with Scorpio and Mercury. Even coming up in your dream state, you could be going back over relationships. It don't even have to be intimate relationships. This could be parents, this could be siblings, this could be um, the social interactions that you have online. Full moon in Aquarius, this is what's being guided collectively. Be real. That's where the self-worth comes in. It's so important for us to be real as we are in the doorway of age of Aquarius. It is wanting authenticity. Anything that's not authentic is being shaken. We can either work with it and change and truly come back to who we are as soul, or we can keep going with the societal collapse that's happening, right? Whether it be in the US or collectively elsewhere. This is a time for us to be real. Be real. And that's when the true loving partnerships, that could be where you're having revelations. Like, I've just outgrown this person, perhaps, right? Or I know me and I have healthy boundaries and you haven't been respectful of that. You'll know when you tell somebody no, how they respond is super important. And I guess I wish I would have known it a little younger in life, but divine timing as it is. So be real, be you, work on it. In this solar plexus energy, I don't know. My regular device I record on broke, so this camera is not the best. This is yellow. That is total solar plexus energy. And although Taurus rules over the heart, you got to know your own worth. This is where you love thyself as a divine child of God, and then you speak your truth and be real and be authentic. And again, that Mars retrograde in Gemini, a lot of those people that were speaking their truth that got censored, the next few months as Mars retrograde there, we may see truth coming back out. They may not be able to do the censoring here before long. Who knows? We have a lot of wild cards on the earth plane as humans. So find balance. Full moon in Libra. Balance within yourself. Balance within your partnerships, whether it be, like I said, siblings, friends, lovers. Find balance in your body every day. If you're feeling a little hot-headed, blow off some steam in a healthy way. If you're feeling super emotional and tapped into your senses, release the tears, cry them out, find your balance, come back to your equilibrium, come back to your heart center. This is the heart, the truth, the way. That is your realness. Love it. And again, ruled by Venus. It's over there, deep diving and reflecting in the energy of Scorpio about the relationships, where the love is. And again, is not just outside of yourself. It has to start with you. If you're new today and you don't know this already, that's why I don't do love readings unless it comes up, because I am here to share with you to love yourself, to know your worth. Again, not in an egotistical way, in a God heart-centered way. So keep your heart open. Another Libra one. So, like I said, a lot of us feel the tugging of our emotions as we are waxing our way into this full moon. It is very vulnerable. Taurus energy loves some senses. Keep your heart open. So this would be a great time to love yourself up and do something for your body that makes you feel good, that makes you feel beautiful. Putting lipstick on, painting your nails, taking an Epsom salt bath. Maybe your thing is just to cook a beautiful meal and enjoy the sense of your taste, right? Taurus energy, the five senses. Taste. Maybe have a glass of wine that tastes wonderful to your palate. Keep your heart open. Speak your truth from that throat chakra. A guarded heart. I watched a video the other day that had Bill Gates. I can't stand him. And he was going like this as he was lying because he's guarded. He knows he's deceptive. He can't be vulnerable because Lies don't withstand truth, the heart, the way. So that's weird. I don't know why I'm bringing that up. I can't stand the dude. Keep your heart open. That is truly the open source of true strength and power. I keep thinking about the lion and the lamb, having spiritual courageousness, but being soft and cuddly and cute. So keep that heart open. If you're not there yet, maybe this is just your indication in this reading today to work on that. We all have flaws. We all have different shit that happens to our bodies over time, because that's what happens on the earth plane in a body, living out this soul experience. So kind of see. I mean, Matt Kahn taught me to look into the mirror and tell myself, I love me, I love you. And you look directly into your own eyes. And when I first started doing that, that will show you where your worth, your solar plexus energy's off. It felt very awkward to me at first. The more I did it, the more I started loving myself in every way, the more I embraced it. And it actually can bring tears to your eyes when you look directly into the windows of your soul and tell it, I love you. Be gentle with yourself. Be real. Embrace your beautiful senses, whether it be crying, shedding tears, touch, smell. Ace of Cups, love initiation. This is the time for you, if you haven't already, to be the ace, to initiate something that is wonderful and satisfying to your senses. Like I said, the wine, the food, the touch, even a caress of your own face when you're laying in bed at night. There's something so wonderful to the soul when you start having an appreciation for yourself, right? So be initiating in that right now. Start it now and see how much it grows over the next 6 months. Start out with the I love yous in the mirror if you haven't tried that ever before. Fill your own cup first, water energy. So keeping your heart open, being real, finding balance is by filling your own love cup first. True self-worth. Beautiful, beautiful chalice. And when that cup overfloweth, that's when you take it out there to your partnerships. It's like going through the first 6 houses of your astrological natal chart. It's where our self-development is. And a lot of us take on our family or cultural self-development. And then we have to come back to ourselves and redo that before we take it out there for healthy, uplifting, balancing, loving, nurturing relationships. The Fool. This eclipse energy is an activation. This is a major arcana. The Fool card is to have a beginner's mind. There's a freedom of letting go here with this full moon. That's what full moons are, is a culmination of maybe letting go of all those things that were mistakes in the past, old ways of treating yourself, old ways of treating your body. Activation, spiritual activation. And look at the freedom in that card. I love how she created this Fool card. 0 is the creation energy number. Again, there is nothing within you that is void. And this activation can really set the tone for you for the next 6 months. Beautiful. So beautiful. One more from the I Am. No, let's do a goddess one. Let's do a goddess one. And then we'll do the I Am affirmation. Thank you for joining me today. I would love to read your comments down below. How are you loving yourself? How are you doing with relationship to self? How are you doing? How are you feeling different body things? Like I keep getting hot. I was blaming it on just hormones. It's not. When the K index is in 5 like it is today, like I am hot. I actually need to go outside and get grounded after I push stop on this today. And the message is transformation. Well, that's Scorpio season. You're experiencing enormous change right now, which brings great blessings. Fixed energy struggles with change. Uranus is sudden changes, awakenings. That could be the electricity energy in the body too, the heat. This transformation, as we are going through this eclipse season and into the next 6 months, is asking us to embrace this transformation. There's a reason, there's a season. Old versions of ourselves need to die. The change that we're all going through on an individual level and a collective level is very great. It's ginormous, right? Huge leap and bound revolution happening within humanity. People starting to speak up, people transforming and, line in the sand, this doesn't work anymore. So this is another reason, as the phoenix rise up out of the ashes, is to make sure you're taking very good care of yourself. There are blessings to see in all of it, and change is never easy for humans. Just think of the higher perspective, the eagle's eye view, but also don't be so lofty, airy, fairy that you're not in the body, right? Because of that disassociation that can happen. Checking out. I used to do it. Good God. I am willing to ask for help. So another receptive energy, right? Because action is masculine, receiving is feminine. If you're needing some sort of help right now to even sort through things that are maybe you're reflecting through in your mind, be open to ask for help. I used to be so guilty and had that out of balance masculine within me to where I wouldn't ask for help because I was self-reliant, self-resourceful. But guess what? Back to this. Keep your heart open. When you're in a good, healthy space yourself and you need some help from somebody else, do you hesitate to ask like I used to? Or do you go ahead and ask because you know you're worthy of receiving? That is our messages for this full lunar eclipse in the sign of Taurus, blood red moon. That should be pretty cool to see if it's visible for you. So get out and get yourself some, work with these energies. Many blessings to you. Shalom, shalom.